Thanks everyone for joining us tonight. As I was saying earlier on sort of our pre-call, this is an annual SEG event and traditionally one of our best events. It's an event of celebrating what is our greatest asset, which is our network of volunteers and of course our entrepreneurs as well. So thank you again for taking the time to join us. Just a quick overview of the agenda. We'll open up with some remarks from the former mayor of Central Falls, Diossa, and then we will jump right into the volunteer awards and get to hear from the entrepreneurs that they have supported. We'll conclude with a reflection on the year of 2020, which of course was a year like no other. And we couldn't have made it through without the support of our volunteers. And then have a special door prize event at the end of this event, and ending with great gratitude for the work that all of the SEG ecosystem stakeholders do to make our economy stronger and better. So I'd like to kick off the event by inviting the mayor of Central Falls, now former mayor, James Diossa. As the first Latino mayor, he has done amazing things for the city, bringing transparency, good governance, financial sustainability. Under his leadership, the city has been able to bring in millions of dollars of federal funding and foundation funding to support infrastructure projects and other projects that have improved the lives of the residents of the city. And of course, his impacts go well beyond sort of what I think we can all read about and know about. And I have a little story about how he has impacted the economy in a way that probably very few people would know about. About 3 years ago, I was at a Kauffman Foundation conference in Kansas City. And looking at the guest list, I realized that Mayor Diossa was also there, and tracked him down, and we chatted briefly about the power of entrepreneurship. And I said, would you like to bring more entrepreneurship to the city of Central Falls? And he said, absolutely, that's why I'm here. And we went back, we had a meeting. I talked about a proposal that we were considering submitting to the federal government for funding. We ended up submitting it. The mayor signed a letter of support. We got that funding, and that has enabled our work in Pawtucket Central Falls, and as well as in Newport, in the north end of Newport. So that's just a story of how a amazing sort of accidental collision and his leadership has led to what I believe is really impactful work in our state. So thank you so much, Mayor Diossa, for joining us tonight.
my absolute pleasure. You've taken me out of retirement. This is my first engagement with a group since I've left. But I really want to thank Kelly because if it wasn't for her reaching out, I think that this relationship, these successful years that the social enterprise greenhouse has had in Rhode Island wouldn't have happened if it wasn't because she was so determined in making sure that this could happen. And I was just a mayor that's always open to new opportunities and understanding the vibrancy of our local economy and how it's the backbone, and especially in Central Falls, how our population has a very strong entrepreneurial spirit, and being able to support that and address it and guide is exactly why I felt this would be a strong organization for just that in Pawtucket Central Falls, because we know that although we don't have large corporations, but if you look at our busiest main streets, you'll find mom and pops hustling and bustling, and they're doing quite well, some of them. But we all know that this pandemic has hit our community particularly hard. And I tell you that many people from the outside think that government runs very well and efficient, and unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't. And this pandemic has really tested our capacity and what we can handle. And I tell you what, that if it wasn't for SEG and Jessica Vega, who was always knocking on the door to see how we can collaborate, I think that made a big difference to the point where, I would get calls and I would just connect them right away to Jess, and her willingness to support and partner because of our same goal of knowing that our folks are the most vulnerable, and we need to do everything in our power to support. And being a local leader, that's exactly why I do this, why I did that job, is to continue supporting and growing and helping folks who have come thousands of miles away to achieve a better life for our family. So it's been an absolute pleasure. Kelly, thank you for reaching out. Thank you to your team, your volunteers. I think that the pandemic has showed us a lot about the world and about humans and about business. But I think there's another phase to this that's going to be extremely difficult and challenging, in the sense that many of our small businesses have a difficulty updating and revealing their status on how their businesses are doing. And the only way we really know is when they're boarding up or closing down their shop. And I think that the integral part of this is making sure that all these grants, loans, money available, that we're connecting them right away so that we can make them stronger and survive these uncertain times, because I think they are uncertain times. We're not quite over the hurdle yet. And so more than ever, your role in all this is going to be particularly special. And I believe that SCG can meet that and overcome and help our businesses continue to grow and challenge and avoid closing the door. So Kelly, again, thank you for the opportunity. I wouldn't miss it for anything. And to all your team members, keep it going. This is a long run, and I know that you're all capable in achieving that and connecting our small businesses to the appropriate support systems to help them overcome this pandemic. So thank you all. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Mayor. And we're just getting started working together. So I'm looking forward to lots of ways that we can work together in many capacities in the future. And just to build on your point, I mean, obviously 2020 was a year like no other. And I think that we worked very hard to step up to meet the needs and to try to play the most supportive role that we could to respond to the needs that many entrepreneurs and small businesses faced. And of course, we could not do that without the entire social enterprise greenhouse ecosystem. So before we get into the individual awards, I just want to take a moment to recognize the entire social enterprise greenhouse volunteer network. I always say this is the secret sauce of SEG, and I'm kind of like, I still, like 12 years in, am blown away day by day by the generosity, the commitment, the knowledge, and the networks that our volunteers bring to the entrepreneurs and businesses that we support. So just want to do a big shout out to all of the SCG volunteers who are on this call. Wish we were all in the room so we could see you as you raise your hand, but if you don't mind, like, either raising your hand in the video or doing like the virtual raise hand. Thank you, SCG volunteers. It's really amazing, the commitment that you continue to make to building the social enterprise ecosystem in Rhode Island and beyond. And of course, I want to do a big shout out to the change makers who are on this call. So SEG entrepreneurs, could you please also raise your hands just now? Like, these entrepreneurs and business leaders have had a year like no other. And the commitment and resiliency that they have demonstrated during these times is incredible. And I just am honored and privileged, and this is like the reason to, you know, keep continuing to grow this social enterprise ecosystem and expand it. It's pretty magical. So thank you, entrepreneurs, for the amazing efforts you put in each day. And as I said, this is like one of the best events that we have. Of course, we love the pitch events, but this, it's such a special time to be able to honor a number of our volunteers who have, you know, demonstrated commitment above and beyond. So I'm going to open up the evening recognizing Elias Softy. And we are presenting Elias the Lifetime Achievement Award. And each of our volunteers will be presenting a SEG paperweight, which is a very small token of, you know, all of the efforts that you have provided to our ecosystem and the entrepreneurs that we support. And Elias is an amazing example of a volunteer who has provided value to the ecosystem in many ways. He has supported SEG as we continue to develop our programs. He has supported many, many entrepreneurs. He has stepped up in so many ways, and we are so grateful for his leadership. And sometimes it's easy to forget. People give so much time to SEG that actually, like, they have amazing professional lives outside of the work that they do at SEG. And Elias is the founder of the Cordis Group, and he has been providing technology, process support, other supports to entrepreneurs and small businesses for over 50 years. So we are just so grateful to have his expertise in our network. But I think this is all better said by an entrepreneur who has worked very closely with Elias. And so pleased to introduce Annabeth Moyer-Bell, the founder of Coast, to talk a little bit more about her relationship with Elias and how he has really helped her organization.
Hello, everybody. My name is Annabeth. Thank you, Kelly. So I'm a drama therapist, so I'm going to do like a little weird thing right now. I'm going to find Elias in my grid. There you are. Okay, so Elias, I actually have the award right here. I'm going to pass it to you through the computer. Are you ready? Okay, here you go. You get it? It's kind of nice. It's kind of light. I hope that you'll put it on your desk and you'll think of me and you'll think of SEG when you look at it. So I'm Annabeth. I'm a drama therapist, and I'm the founder of Coast, which stands for Creating Outreach About Addiction Support Together. I feel super honored to be able to imaginatively give this award today or present this award. I met Elias in the fall of 2016 when I entered into the accelerator course at SEG. I had just incorporated Coast. I had just graduated grad school from NYU in drama therapy, and I had taken my thesis performance and kind of started running with it as an idea for nonprofit. And luckily, I was super naive. I didn't know what it meant to start a nonprofit. And I just thought to myself, oh, it can't be that hard. I'll just do it. Now, in retrospect, if I knew how hard it was to start a nonprofit and run one, I don't know that I would do it now, but I'm really glad that 4 years ago I was naive enough to think I could do it. So with that being said, I started with the accelerator program, and I was meeting with Elias quite frequently. A lot of times at SEG and or across the street in the old Olga's, as I'm sure a lot of you were as well. And I think one of the big things that makes a mentor or a business coach or a supporter good at what they do, especially with those of us who are social entrepreneurs, is they not only believe in the work you're creating or the nonprofit that you're building or the business that you're building, but they believe in you. For me, my work is very close to my heart. The work we do uses drama therapy and theater to address the opioid epidemic. And I have, in the last 5 years, lost loved ones to heroin and fentanyl overdoses. So my work is has a direct connection to my lived experience and to my grief and my loss and my love for my community. And so what I have found is that people like Elias, they have to believe in you and they have to believe in your vision. And so that was one of the biggest things I found with Elias. I mean, of course, he walked me through budgets and he walked me through the business plan and my mission and my vision and all of that kind of day in and day out stuff. But there were moments when it got really hard. Because when you build a business, and this is probably true of businesses that aren't social or nonprofit in nature, your failure feels like you failed and your successes feel like you succeeded. And it's hard to not feel connected and feel like it's a part of you. So there's a story that he and I have told many a time, and I will tell it one more time. We were sitting in Olga's, and it was the winter of 2016, 2017. And I turned to him and I said, screw this. This is too hard. I don't want to do this. It's not working. It's not going to work out. I'm so unhappy. I just want to go back to California where I had lived previously. I want to be in the sunshine. I want to let go of the organization, and I just want to do something else. And I was probably in tears. And he looked at me and he was like, you could. Okay, you could go back to California and let this all go. What would that look like? And we talked through it. And by the end of the conversation, I realized, okay, I don't want to take the easy route or route, depending on where you are in Rhode Island. I want to stick with this. And that was one moment that sticks in my head where he let me imagine what it would be like to let go. But then he was able to hold me when I came back and decided that I wanted to keep going. So I think sometimes we have to fall, and you have to let us fall. And Elias let me fall and then didn't judge me, and then was right there to help pick me up again. And I haven't talked to him in a little while, so I want to share with you, Elias, where I am right now. Coast has been going for 4 years. We've done really well. We are now in the middle of a merger with a much larger organization. So by the end of April, we will be 3 times as big. We will have presence in not only Rhode Island, but in Massachusetts, New York, and Cleveland, Ohio. And just last week, I was appointed as a senior advisor to the incoming governor of the state, Dan McKee, and will be helping with the first 100 days of his transition into office, helping decide policy and initiatives around addiction and recovery in the state of Rhode Island. So I wanted to share that with Elias. I wouldn't be here if you didn't let me fall and pick me up. And on another note, Elias, I'm living in California. The pandemic makes everything remote, right? So I'm also living on the West Coast and happy to be here and still working and getting up super early in the morning to work on East Coast time. But I wanted to give you that. So thank you.
Wow. Yeah, Elias. Well, thank you, Annabeth, for sharing that story. And Elias, I hope you feel what an impact you have had. So just want to turn it over to you.
Well, first of all, the fact that we haven't been in touch doesn't mean that I don't know what you're doing, because I'm following you, and I take great pride in knowing that that I had even a little bit to do with that. I guess the first thing that I want to do is thank SEG for what you do. When I started with SEG, I had just retired, and it just really spoke to me. The idea that you were looking for somebody to help young entrepreneurs who had socially engaging ideas. And that really was very important to me. And so I jumped in with both feet. And I'm very happy that I did it. You talked earlier, Kelly, about all the work that we do. And a lot of times it doesn't seem like work. A lot of times you're doing something that has value, that has worth to the society. So that's very important to me. I don't want to get into a whole lot of things, but I do want to just, you, Annabeth, did a lot of consulting over a lot of years, and some of it in the military and intelligence world have some very colorful ways of talking. And at one point in time, we were talking to somebody who was trying to figure out what to do with this team. And we talked about the importance of coaching and training. And he said to me, he said, you know, you can train and coach a mule. Uh-oh. Somebody stop my video?
You're good.
Okay. He said, you can coach and train a mule till you're blue in the face. That will never win the Kentucky Derby. Okay. Which is his way of saying there has to be some talent there, Annabeth. And I was really happy, pleased, proud, and humbled to have been part of your story. And I am just so thrilled to see you just blossoming and continuing to grow. And thank you again, TG, for the award. The award is very nice. It's for you. That's really the important thing. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Elias and Annabeth. And I think you both said it very well. And, you know, the coaching that you provided was amazing, Elias, and Annabeth, as we both know, is very coachable. And so thank you. Now we're going to move on to Margot Crawford. And I remember when Margot moved back to the East Coast, she got connected to SEG. I think it was pretty early on, and we had a meeting, and she had the spirit of the SEG volunteer. She said, "This is what I do, and tell me how I can help." And help she has. So she has helped SEG as an organization. She has helped our team, and she has helped countless entrepreneurs. And her focus, she is the founder of Wave Productivity, and specializes in helping us all be more productive, manage our emails, manage probably our online Zoom time. So the impacts that she can have and has had on all of our lives has just been incredible. So I'm so grateful for all that Margot has done. But I'm going to turn it over to Alicia Goven, who is the executive director of the Center for Sexual Health and Pleasure, who can talk in more detail about the impacts that Margot has had on her as an entrepreneur and on her organization.
Thank you, Kelly. I'm like more nervous for this than for the pitch event for some reason. So when I did the Health and Wellness Accelerator, I was about a year into my tenure as executive director. I did not found this organization. I inherited it, and it was a bit of a mess. And as a small nonprofit, I wear many hats, and I'm the head of finance, I'm the fundraising director, I am VP of communications, in addition to the typical executive director duties. And so when Meg asked, like, what do we want in a coach? I was like, I have no idea. I need help everywhere. And I like when Meg connected me with Margot, it felt like she read my mind, but like on a deeper, like on a subconscious level, because it would have never occurred to me to like reach out to someone that does productivity work in coaching. And it really just felt like Meg knew me better than I did. And I don't know if Meg is the one that coordinates all that, but she's getting the credit in my heart. And so it was such a pleasure to work with Margot. One of the first emails that I got, I was actually pulling up our email thread to like remember, mostly to remember the timeline of when I did the accelerator, because 2020 was like a decade. But she, and I hope I'm not like putting Margot on blast, but she was like, I think this is going to be the perfect match. I am a little uncomfortable talking about sex and sexuality. And I was like, great, I'm your girl. And so in addition to just like having like that great interpersonal rapport, she really like just provided me with a series of invaluable tips and tools and strategies for managing my time, but also validating that you can only optimize your workflow so much, but you also have to realize that you have too much on your plate. And as someone who is a bit of a perfectionist, it's always been a challenge for me to ask others for help. And so that was a big thing that she helped me with. And I honestly feel like we probably would not have made it through this past year had I not have had Margot's help to prepare me for unknowingly working through a global pandemic. But so I wanted to just highlight a few of the tips that Margot instilled in me, because they're ones that I continue to use and have shared with countless others. If anyone has ever emailed me, you have likely gotten an auto response that says, thank you for your patience. I have paused my inbox and I will only be checking it from this time to this time. That alone, mind blowing, game changer. And she gave me the 5-minute rule, which is if you can do it in 5 minutes or less, just do it and get it off your to-do list. And then also just blocking time off on my calendar for the things that are like feeling really overwhelming and that need to get done. That was really, really like obvious in some ways, but just like blew my mind. She also encouraged me to lean into the habits that I've already established and leverage them so that they work for me. So knowing that it takes me a really long time to write things, like don't stress about the fact that it's going to take you a long time to write. Just like have it going in the back of your mind. And then when you sit down, you'll be ready. And like that was a thing I've always been fighting against. And it still stresses me out a little bit, but I at least feel a little bit better knowing that that's a part of my process. And then just on like an interpersonal level, like I've been doing work in the sex ed field for a decade. And so by virtue of that, I tend to be around a lot of people that are extremely comfortable talking about sex. And so my metric for other people's comfort levels is a little skewed. And so when we were doing the different like tailorings of mission and ways we communicate the work that we do, it was really, really helpful to have someone who is not as deeply immersed in this world to give me feedback so that I can present my organization in a way that is accessible to people who need our services, but may be intimidated by the way we present ourselves. And so we haven't announced this yet or anything, but we are doing a rebrand because obviously having pleasure and sex and I mean health is fine is a little like, whoa, what is that? So I don't know. I don't know how to end this because Margot is just so amazing and wonderful. And I just thank you to SEG for reading the like deepest layers of my mind and knowing that that she was the person that I needed. And I'm so glad that she is getting honored this evening because I can't think of anyone who deserves it more.
Well, thank you, Alicia and Margot. Wow.
Thank you so much. You know, there's so many people in my life who have helped me. There are even people on this call tonight who have helped me in business and personally. And I always feel like I want to be able to give back that kindness. And that's why I volunteer with SEG. It gives me the opportunity to pay it forward. And I get to work with people who are turning ideas into reality. And that reality is that they're just not affecting one person. Their work is impacting your community, it's impacting your neighborhoods, it's impacting your world. And just with my work with one person means that thousands of people can get help, can get relief, and feel better. And that is amazing. So I want to thank SEG for giving me the opportunity to even volunteer to have this amazing experience. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Margot. And I think you put it so well. It's all about paying it forward. And I feel that the power of sort of the social impact ecosystem is that we're all supporting each other. I mean, we all need, none of us can do it all ourselves. And so we all need each other. And I think that this community has really proven to be supportive in many, many ways. So thank you so much for all that you have done for SEG and the entrepreneurs. And next, I would like to recognize Katie McDonald and for all of her efforts. This one is a little bit near and dear to my heart because Katie has provided coaching services to many, many of our entrepreneurs. She's provided numerous workshops. She's just amazing. And I can speak firsthand because she has actually coached me as well. And so her efforts are just absolutely transformational. But I'm going to turn it over to Jillian Quenu, and Jillian would love for you to have you share your experience.
Yes, thank you, everyone. My name is Jillian Quenu, and I am a dietitian and a minister, and I focus on helping people to find healthy ways to live through spiritual wellness and through culturally relevant resources, specifically for the Black and Brown community. And I met Katie in the summer of 2019. And at the time, I was trying to put together my business idea. And I had all these ideas, but I didn't know exactly where to start with them. And when I met with her the first time, she was really excited to connect. And when we had our first initial contact after we met at the hub, I found out I was pregnant a week later. And I already had a 2-year-old at the time. And my husband's schedule was pretty busy because we also have a church and he had another job as well. So our life was pretty crazy. And I just began to tell her some of my ideas. And she sat me down and she was like, you know what? You need to take some time to really think about how you're going to care for yourself. And that was really like shocking for me because as a dietitian and just a person who is really interested in self-care, I thought I was doing pretty well. But she helped me to realize, like, yeah, you need to, think about how you're doing some things. And I realized that I had really, really high expectations for myself. Some of them were a little bit too high, and they were causing me to have a lot of pressure, comparing myself to what other people were doing. And it was causing me to get lost in my ideas. So we had a lot of time just sitting down thinking through, okay, Jillian, how are you going to care for yourself? What are you going to do when you wake up in the morning to think about yourself first? And that was really hard for me at the time because, I just didn't know how to put it all together. So I was so thankful for all that time that she spent with me. So then after all of that, we went for about, I don't know, maybe 9 months. We ended in winter 2020, right before I was about to have my son. He's about to be 1 now. And it was actually the perfect time for us to connect because I had all these ideas. I actually had tons of events that I was planning to do for 2020, but then the pandemic happened and all of them got canceled. And I was now a stay-at-home mom with an infant and a toddler. And, I'm so thankful for all of the time that she gave me because it taught me how to use self-care, how to set reasonable goals. And I was able to get a lot done as well without pressuring myself. And I was able to write a book. My book is called 5 Tips to Enjoy Your Health. And I'm so thankful for our connection. I know that Katie is going to continue to do great work. And thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Jillian. And Katie, would love to hear from you.
Oh, well, congratulations. It's so good to see you. And I think good people doing really good work for the good often aren't good enough to themselves. And that's really where the opportunity was for, we're the people at SEG are heroes, and they're rescuing so many people in, serving a bigger need. And often their needs get lost in the pursuit of doing the important work. So it's such an honor to be able to, as it's been said, to pay it forward and to really take an opportunity to say, of all the blessings that have come in my direction, all the people who have had my back, who have challenged me to grow and to remind me that I need to take care of myself as I pursue the mark I want to leave in the world. It's like SEG does it so well and creates this community of people who want to give because we realize all that we've received. So I am grateful for the opportunity and really hope that I can continue to serve in whatever way possible.
Thank you so much, Katie. And thank you for your work, Jillian, also. So appreciative to know you both. So next, I would like to recognize Ileana Rojas. Ileana has been really a game changer for SEG and for many of the entrepreneurs that we support. So like many of our volunteers, she wears many hats. Ileana is very involved in our equity committee and has been absolutely transformational in helping us continue to really advance our work in terms of trying to continue to serve historically excluded communities. And she does so much one-on-one work with entrepreneurs that we support. But I am going to turn it over to my colleague, Jessica Vega, who can talk in more detail about the contributions that Ileana has made.
Thank you, Kelly. And thank you to all the amazing volunteers and entrepreneurs. It's really inspiring to hear all your stories. So when I first started at SEG, I was very intimidated because I did not have a background in entrepreneurship, nor was I a small business owner. All I know is that I loved going to the mom and pop shop in Central Falls to eat. That was like the extent of it. But Ileana really played an instrumental role in helping us bring programs to Pawtucket and Central Falls, particularly focusing on programs for the Latino community that was very new to SEG. I remember the first time I met her in the hub, I think it was like 2 months into my role. And I was just so surprised of how generous and mostly patient she was with her time and helping me think through what these programs could look like and offering her support with hosting workshops, meeting with our entrepreneurs. I know that last year was really impactful and not in a positive way for our small businesses. It was really rough for a lot of them. But even before 2020 even started, entrepreneurs, whether they were startup or scaling up, I know it's difficult. There's a lot of uncertainty, instability, highs and lows. There's a lot of going back to the drawing board and starting all over again. But then here comes a volunteer like Ileana, who is able to meet with them, is able to identify those blind spots that they have, play up their strengths, and remind them of their resiliency. And that's why it's such an honor to be able to introduce her and recognize her for all the amazing work that she continues to bring to SCG.
Thank you. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Meg. Thank you, SCG team. It's just an honor. When I received the email that I was being recognized, it really got me emotional. It's so exciting because SCG doesn't know that, but you saved me 3 years ago in so many ways. And I'll share the story on another note, but it's been just wonderful to be a part of this incredible community, and especially when it's about helping the Latino community of Central Falls and Pawtucket and just in general Rhode Island, and then it just has the feeling of familia when you're Latino. I think that's something that you don't know that you create, and it can help somebody really overcome difficult moments. So it's not just about being there and helping from a business and a strategy perspective, but just that warm feeling that somebody's holding your hand, like that can move mountains and that can really create a difference. So thank you so much for giving me that opportunity. I'm so happy to be a part of this familia.
Well, thank you so much, Ileana and Jessica. And Ileana, can we use that? Can we sort of use that as the SCG tagline, like feeling of familia? Because I think that captures it. That is what we have been trying to build, and I hope what it is increasingly feeling like. So I love that. Thank you. And thank you so much for all that you do. We're so thankful that we met you 3 years ago and you felt inspired to get involved with us. So now I would like to recognize Bill Keogh. And Bill is another volunteer that I feel like we got very lucky with the timing, and we met him when he was making a move back to Rhode Island, and he was just one of these amazing people that we met with, and he stepped up and he continued to step up and just got involved in so many ways so quickly, and he became the name. We talk a lot about like, who should we connect with, with this entrepreneur and with that entrepreneur, and his name just kept coming up, and we sort of said, okay, like we're asking him too much. And that's a common theme, by the way, like, are we asking them too much? Should we keep asking them? Bill just kept stepping up. So thank you so much, Bill, for all you have done, and particularly your efforts in building our presence and ability to best serve entrepreneurs in Newport County has been incredible. But I will not say it as eloquently as Sarah Nandapali, who is the founder of Sirens Women's Cooperative. So Sarah, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Great, thanks. Oh, I'm so honored to recognize Bill. Hi, Bill, it's nice to see you. He was my mentor for the spring 2020 accelerator cohort, and he really helped me just get really clear on my vision, mission, and strategy for Siren. And before you know it, you're just sort of rattling on and talking, and Bill's just there, active listening, engaged, and sort of offering these really powerful nuggets right when you need them to push you to the next step. And something I noticed about Bill, you know, he has a really big, important job and he's an important guy, but he never comes across that way at all. It just sort of comes out as he talks and mentors and listens. And he's really one of the most genuine and kind and humble folks I've ever met. And, you know, even though I don't talk to Bill a lot, we're still in touch. I know he's there. There's something about him that I think will have really a lifelong impact in terms of him just caring and really wanting to mentor. I remember noting to Bill that you just seem like someone who loves doing this, who loves mentoring, and it seems like you get something out of it. And so he's just a joy to be around, and I'm just so happy to have met Bill and to have learned from his mentoring.
Thank you, Sarah. You know, it's getting an award because I find this work just so rewarding in working with Sarah and other entrepreneurs, and the whole mission of SEG, helping early stage people figure out what they want to do and how they're going to do it. It's really exciting work, and I just feel so fortunate that you know, a woman named Julia Sweet, who went through the SEG food accelerator, came up to me one day at Newport Polo. She had her farm to table pizza there, and I'd come over to get a pizza every time we went to Polo. And at the very end of the season, she said, "What do you do?" And I said, "Oh, I'm just, you know, doing some consulting and advisory work." And she said, "Have you ever heard of SEG?" And I said, "No, I haven't." And she said, "Well, you have to meet them." And she introduced me to Ali Goya, and I met with Ali, and then Ali introduced me to Juan Carlos, and it really changed my whole experience here and helped me become part of the community and get more integrated. And I'm just so grateful to be affiliated with SEG. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And I think that just really sums it up so well. So thank you, Bill, for that. It is a community, and it's a give and get community. And so we are all, you know, giving to each other and getting from each other. And that is sort of what makes this whole ecosystem work. So grateful for all of your contributions, Bill and Sarah, for the amazing work that you do. So I think we're overdue for a major round of applause. So I don't know, how do we do this now? Like, sort of, you can unmute yourself, maybe like unmute yourselves and applause. Thank you to all of this year's awardees. We could not do what we do without you. So, so grateful to know you all. And again, thank you to the entrepreneurs for all the amazing work that you do. And I just, again, you know, this year has been challenging. And in spite of all of the challenges, SEG has been able to triple the number of entrepreneurs and businesses that we support. And when I say SEG, that is, of course, our team, but it is the entire community. It is the volunteers and the entrepreneurs. And so I just want to take a moment to reflect on all of the work that we have done this year. And this is just going to be a quick snapshot. It's not all of the work, but it's a representation of the work that we've done. And I want you all to sort of just, you know, enjoy the benefits of the extra contributions I think that you all have made in 2020. I feel like we would sort of be dancing if we were all together. So that's just a snapshot. I mean, it's been an incredible year in more ways than one. So thank you again, everyone, for all of your efforts in making all of that possible. And now I'm going to turn it over to Allie. I think you all know we have some amazing social enterprise door prizes.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kelly. And that video, wow, we've had quite the year, and congratulations to everybody who's joining us tonight. Thank you. So hello, everyone. Thank you for celebrating and staying on. I know I am the only thing standing between you and your dinner, so I will be brief. So it's the first time we're doing these door prizes virtually, so I'm very excited. We have 5 door prizes available, sourced from our amazing social ventures in our network. Be sure to check them all out after the program. So here's how it's going to work. We randomized all the registered attendees and entered them into a raffle randomizer online. So I will be announcing the winners in just a minute, and I will email all of the winners to discuss how to get your prizes to you. Without further ado, I'll begin. All right, for our first item, a gift box from Giving Beyond the Box, founded by our very own Sandra Enos. This venture curates gift boxes that feature products that carry social missions. So the winner of the Giving Beyond the Box is Brandon Monty. Congratulations, Brandon. Great. On to our second item. We have a gift card from the Heal Room, a one-stop shop for sustainability, zero waste, wellness, and mindfulness. It's also a collaborative joint venture powered by Ana Duque, founder of Green Tenderfoot, and Karen Mijas, founder of Mindful Maya. The winner of the Heal Room gift card is Christina Shasley. Congratulations. For our third item, a gift card to 10 Rocks in Pawtucket, owned by Common Montero. It's a fine dining restaurant that offers creative tapas dishes, fresh seafood, and lots of different specialty food inspired by rich Cape Verdean culture. Delicious. The winner of the 10 Rocks gift card is Colleen Plesac. Congratulations, Colleen. Great. The fourth item, we have a gift card to the Medicine Woman's Cabinet, founded by Erica Nunnally. Erica has created a boutique wellness incubator that provides custom blended resources to you to balance the 4 pillars of wellness so you can get on with living your best life. The winner of the Medicine Woman's Cabinet gift card is Gregor Mittersinker. Congratulations, Gregor. For our 5th and last item, a gift basket filled with goodies from One World Cacao. Founded by the wonderful Nola Gainham, this venture works in a myriad of ways to bring the healing potentials of cacao to communities and wellness practitioners across the world. The winner of the One World Cacao gift basket is Corbin Perry. Congratulations, Corbin. Nice. All right, folks. So that does it for prizes tonight. Congratulations to all the winners. A big thank you to the social ventures who participated. And again, I'll be following up with you all tomorrow. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to you, Kelly, to close out our night.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Allie. And again, thank you to all the social ventures that generously contributed gifts, and congrats to all of the winners. So just as a final closing, I want to again give a big thanks to the entire social enterprise ecosystem. We are, of course, continuing to work hard and meet the needs of entrepreneurs and small businesses that we support. We have lots of programs with applications open right now. We are planning a Spanish incubator, and the applications are open right now. Application deadline is February 10th. So please help us get the word out. We have our Spring Impact Accelerator applications open. The deadline is February 17th. Again, this is our 12-week signature program. And we have our virtual incubator in English. Applications are also open for that program, and the deadline is March 5th. You know, these programs are all fantastic opportunities to help individuals take their ideas and their businesses to the next level. So please help us get the word out about that. And if you are on this call and inspired by what you have heard and not already in the social enterprise greenhouse ecosystem, please feel free to contact us. My colleague Meg is going to put her email in the chat, and we are always recruiting volunteers. We are always interested in bringing new stakeholders into the ecosystem. So get involved, and please help us get the word out about the impact that social enterprise is having in our state and beyond.